deeply ensconced in the luxury suite on the plain of Kylum. It's Tap Tap Concede. We're still here. We're not leaving. We just ordered some cheesy sliders.
We've made a deal with the bell staff and the room service staff of the luxury suite, and so they won't tell their bosses.
Yeah. We told them we'd be putting it on our friend Gideon's card.
That's right.
It's rapidly becoming not the luxury suite.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the luxury suite is starting to get pretty dank and not the
Several
right way.
stains have developed. A
My
mold has occurred.
Yeah.
But we're still here.
Yeah.
And it's Tap Tap Concede. I'm Kathleen.
I'm Cameron.
I'm Nelson.
And this is Casual Discussions of Casual Magic with 3 casual friends. But Tap Tap Concede, some brief bookkeeping before we get started, is brought to you by Card Kingdom, a kingdom of cards. Card Kingdom is a wonderful brick and mortar and online card retailer that will sell you things like 1 card, 2 cards, 3 cards, or even more cards. And if you're in the U.S., sealed product. And if you're not, other cards mailed separately. Not all separately. Like if you order 6 cards, they'll put them together in one envelope and mail them.
Unless you request them to do it differently, in which case they probably would. One of the weird things you can do in your order is tell them that LoadingReadyRun sent you and ask for a button.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think the buttons are currently depleted.
We'll be getting more buttons soon, but you can just use the referral link, cardkingdom.com/LRR, and that lets Card Kingdom know that we sent you to their store and that they should keep giving us money.
Don't make the mistake I make whenever I order from Card Kingdom, which is going to cardkingdom.com. Go to cardkingdom.com/LRR, the clearly superior Card Kingdom experience.
Hopefully by the time you type in those extra 3 letters in that slash, they'll have replenished the buttons.
Of course, Tap Tap Concede is also brought to you by you and the wonderful support on our Patreon, patreon.com/LoadingReadyRun. It is so wonderful. We deeply appreciate it and thank you for your support. It lets us do things like run the electricity that puts the lights on the podcast and pay for garbage pickup. It's all very exciting stuff that we use Patreon money for, but it's so important. Also paying us and all sorts of other things.
We used your Patreon money to scare away the bees.
That's
Yes.
true, actually.
Yeah.
Because, if you were following the bee saga, we had Barry the bee guy come in, and we paid him $100
There you go.
to take the bees away in a humane way and re-release them somewhere where they wouldn't be stumbling out of our vents and dying.
Yeah, apparently they were not highly sought after honeybees.
No, they were just friendly bumblebees. Well, not super friendly, because one of them did sting James.
Yeah, James was just minding his own business, and one of them was like, no, you gotta go.
Yeah, maybe James is some sort of bee enemy.
Perhaps. He was marked. I'm actually considering contacting Barry the Bee Guy, because he gives apiary, instruction.
Oh, really? You
Yeah.
could set up an apiary in your backyard.
I know.
Or in the moon base, for
No.
that matter. Makes more sense.
We had it. We had basically an apiary.
Already want to be here.
Well,
Be here.
Oh, I get it.
should we move on with our episode?
God, no.
I feel I've killed the intro. Just like Barry.
All right.
He didn't kill any bees. He used a vacuum cleaner to gently suck them from the ceiling.
I know that's what he told you, Kathleen, but he's an exterminator. He murders for a living.
No, he's a bee friend.
It's important that you tell gentle people and small children these lies.
Nelson, how well do you know me if you think I'm a gentle person?
Barry thought you needed the little kid treatment.
All right, so today we're doing a Crack-a-Pack Extravaganzum because we have all of these Crack-a-Packs. If you're listening on the audio version, that's a lot of packs.
I think James counted them, and we have something like, this is a 1,500 count box.
It's like 2.5 boxes of packs, right?
Yeah. And they're jammed in here reasonably tightly.
Well, I mean, we took out 6 for our Winston draft.
And didn't dent it.
No, not at all. But now let's crack some more packs. So,
Starting with pack number 6.
3. Nemesis.
Nemesis.
boy.
I don't think I've ever cracked a pack of Nemesis before. Oh, hey, this was given to us by our friend Shivam. Hi, Shivam, at GP Vegas. So maybe last year's GP Vegas, maybe a GP Vegas many years ago. I wasn't at.
Maybe.
So Nemesis came out when I wasn't playing, my brief break from Magic, but I think the expansion symbol is an axe.
Is an X. Okay.
I thought Nemesis was the mask.
Oh,
The
you might be
Phyrexian
right.
mask.
Yeah, you might
Or
be
no,
right.
No, it's back.
Axe? Okay.
That's Apocalypse.
Right. So what was in Nemesis? Was this
Oh boy,
like
I
the
think there's
Volvers?
some free cards, aren't there?
This is part of the Marketian Masks block.
Oh, okay.
okay.
I mean, it has this little mask right here, so maybe.
Right.
All right. No,
but
it
it's
is
the
an axe.
It is the
Yeah.
axe, even though it has the expansion symbol
That is
for
probably what threw me.
the little mask, which isn't the Mercadian Mask's mask. This is a different
When did
expansion
this,
symbol.
when did this set come
that's
out?
the Yawgmoth mask.
Okay, yeah.
Copyright 2000. It says 1993 to 2000.
Right.
So I'm assuming this came out 18 years ago.
There it is.
Hello, welcome to the inexorable march of time. I'm your host, Kathleen. Joining me this week is Old Cameron and Old Nelson.
I'm so
A
old.
pile of dust.
Can you see my gray hairs on this podcast?
Everyone can see
Probably,
mine.
right? Yeah. There you go.
Somebody was like, how come Cam and Missy have gray hair? And I'm like, because they have true black hair, which if you knew anything, you'd know goes gray like immediately.
Right. Also, they're just old AF.
Yep.
Not really.
Probably going to die soon. That's why I have gray hair.
Anyhow, our first card is Mind Slash. Oh, there we are. What great art.
Yeah. Good lighting.
Yeah, this looks like something like a little bit of the art from Lorwyn, maybe? Is that painterly kind of thing?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it's an oil painting, right? Like, or acrylic, maybe?
Yeah, this is really good art. It is 1 black, and it's an enchantment. Pay black, sacrifice a creature. Look at target player's hand. Look at target opponent's hand and choose a card from it. That player discards that card. Play this ability only if you could play a sorcery.
Yeah, I wanted something like this for our Muldrotha deck.
Yeah.
Just recurring ways to sacrifice creatures.
Yeah, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
No idea if this got any standard play. Good way to sort of lock up a game. You could play it in a deck that wanted to really play around counterspells, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean,
twist your opponent on
you
your
gotta
own turn.
have some sort of token strategy, I think, to power this out.
You really want the Sengur Autocrat to come down next to this one.
Yeah. All right, but that's Mind Slash. We also have Flowstone Thopter. The 4/4 for 7. You can pay 1 and it gets +1/-1 and gains flying. It's a Thopter without flying?
Doesn't get flying until you
For 7.
For
You
7
shrinky-wink
it
it.
doesn't have flying.
It has 4 power and toughness.
This looks like something out of a Discworld novel.
Yep.
It looks like something that would catch fire in a Discworld novel.
That looks like what it's destined to do, right?
Well, for 7 mana. No. This was illustrated by Mike Plug, who is my new favorite Magic illustrator.
Nice.
Well, I'm stealing Plug for a D&D campaign last
Yes,
name.
you are.
All right.
Wow.
How about classic Animate Land? Oops, there's a little bit off the card reader there. Animate Land.
1 green mana for an instant that says until end of turn, target land is a 3/3 creature that's still a land.
I think this is.
So you can flash in and block with your forest.
Yeah, this card is. I think this is like. I don't know about making my land not indestructible.
No, it's okay to play this kind of effect sometimes. There's often enough, especially in sort of the early game. There's times when your opponent does tap out before combat for various reasons, and so you don't have to play around with removal spells and get 2 for 1 to lose your land.
Yeah.
Or I mean, even just as a mid-game pressure play, bolting them to the face is a potential thing. It's not a great card.
No.
As a blocker, that's it can be worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good art though, Rebecca
Yeah.
Guay.
Yeah.
So of course this is the old packs. These are our 3 uncommons, and I moved our rare to the back for narrative
Ooh.
excitement. So let's now look at our commons. God, hold on. Flowstone Thopter's an uncommon. It's so bad.
Yep.
Wow, that sucks. All right, but we also have Lackalith Whelp. So
Okay.
1/1 for 1. Creature beast. Whenever Lackalith Whelp becomes blocked, you may have it deal damage equal to its power to target creature. If you do, Lackalith Whelp deals no combat damage this turn.
Oh, first is strike.
Yeah, that's what they've been calling it, right?
Yeah.
Except it doesn't have to damage the creature it blocks. So it's it turns into a Prodigal Pyromancer whenever
yeah.
it's attacked and blocked.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, you can use it as first to strike, right?
I feel like
Yeah.
what I really want to do is put equipment on this creature.
Sure, yeah, just give it an axe so it has more power, and then it can first just strike all the blockers for days. Yeah, decent.
How about
For a
Harvest
1/1 for 1.
Mage? There must have been a cycle here. Harvest Mage is another 1/1 for 1. Green and tap, discard a card from your hand until end of turn. If you tap a land for mana, it produces 1 mana of any color instead of its normal type and amount. Oh!
I really like Spell Shapers. This is not a great effect.
Yeah, it's a 1/1 for 1. Certainly no Grim Lavamancer or anything.
But you have to pay a green. You have to tap this, and you have to discard a
card from hand.
to filter, not just to generate mana.
Yeah, I know. No, it's not great.
That's bad.
It's not great.
I still really like the spell shapers.
The spell shapers are cool. Yeah,
Like
they'll let
Waterfront Bouncer,
That's a good one.
Latula,
There's good spell
Alexi.
shapers. This is not one of them.
for sure.
The
Yeah.
Harvest Mage can...
But they all make you discard a card because, like, the
Yeah.
idea
Yeah.
is they're casting a spell, right? So they
Yeah.
need to have a card to do it with.
Yeah, they take one spell from your hand and turn it into whatever it is they do.
That's right.
Yes.
But this is
Typically, it has more impact.
For sure. For sure. I really like Green Seeker from the spells. That one's that's a spell shaper, isn't it? From Time Spiral, it's like you can just go turn any of your cards into a basic land from your deck into hand, like that one.
Hey, who's up for a metal band album cover?
Yep. Every Magic card ever.
Mind Swords.
Hey, we hit a card from this pack that I've played before.
Could you not see, like, Demu Borger releasing a single or something like that?
Absolutely. Yeah, no. We've talked about this card on this podcast before, I feel like.
Ooh. So if you control Mind Swords is a sorcery for 1 and a black. If you control a swamp, you may sacrifice a creature instead of paying Mind Swords mana cost. Each player removes 2 cards in his or her hand from the game. So interestingly, this is also bad.
It's kind of cool in Suicide Black. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's okay in Mono Black aggro, where like the plan is all your cards cost 1 and 2. You empty your hand really quickly.
And if you draw some land, great.
So then it's a Mind Rot that only costs 2. So it's like the idea is like at its very, very best possible mode, it's like a turn 4 Hymn to Turok, you know, that you can even play for free by sacrificing a creature. Which in that deck,
Well,
you've got
yeah.
some creatures that come back from the graveyard. Like you can sacrifice
Yeah.
a Bloodghast to cast this, for example.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's just that like you also have to pitch cards,
Right. Yeah.
and,
So there.
and it's removed from game, so that means exile, right?
Yeah, it means exile 2 cards.
Which is kind of like a non-bow a little bit, and you're down a card
Yeah,
and a creature.
Did this go in your Mono Black challenge deck at all?
Yeah, I did in some versions of it. I don't think it went in the one that won the challenge, but I have played it in that deck. Yeah, like Mono Black aggro and Highlander.
For those of you wondering, the Mono Black Highlander Challenge was: can you win a weekly Highlander tournament?
You had to win a
running mono
Monday, I
black?
think. Yeah, playing only black cards, and I think I'm not at this point. I don't know if I'm the only one to have done it. Probably not anymore, but I was the first one to do it.
Yeah, it seems difficult because black, while extremely good, sort of has some lacking.
It's a support
areas.
color mostly in Eternal. There's not a lot of mono black decks.
Yeah,
in
it
Eternal
really
formats.
stumbles with dealing with artifacts and enchantments.
Well, it can't. There's nothing in black.
Well, you have this card. You can make
Yeah.
them exile their artifacts and enchantments from their
But
hand.
yeah, I guess get them before you cast them. That's black's removal for artifacts and enchantments. Is don't let it resolve. How about Netter Endal? It's a 1/1 for 1.
Another
For
spell
1 and a
shaper.
white, discard a card from your hand. Target creature can't attack this turn. A falter. You have to. Oh, these are not very good.
Nope, this one's not great.
Like, what if she did like? I mean, it's white, but what if it was like a red card that was deal 1 damage and target creature can't block this turn?
I think that one exists also.
That's almost worth a card.
Maybe not and can't block, but I think there's one. I think Chris Mage is like pitch and deal some damage to a creature. So that
yeah.
exists.
What about Defiant Falcon?
Yep. Okay, Rebels were in this set. This card's real.
So it's a 1/1 for 2 with flying. Fine. 4 in tap. Search your library for a rebel card with converted mana cost 3 or less and put that card into play. Put that card into play.
Into play.
Yeah,
Then
so
shuffle
this
your
finds,
library.
Like Lin Civi?
Yep. Well, no, she costs more than 3, doesn't she?
Oh, okay. Oh,
But
seems- yeah,
it's
3.
part of the chain, right? Like there's
Yeah.
a 1-drop that can get this one, then this one can get a 3-drop. There's a 3-drop that can get a Lin Civi, I think, because she's 4 or she's 5. Anyways, that was how Rebels worked. You paid mana and activated them to get more creatures out of your library into play, which is a pretty strong ability.
That's very strong.
Yeah.
I've seen this card a lot.
Wahoo! Real card.
Yeah.
Days. You may return an island you control to its owner's hand instead of paying Days' mana cost. This is basically the same thing in like the Mind Swords.
Kind of,
Like
yeah.
the
So I
alternate
mentioned,
casting
I
cost?
mentioned just before we opened the pack. I think there's free cards from this set, and there are free cards from this set. So this is another one of them.
Yeah, and then target counter spell. Target spell unless its controller pays 1. Days. I see this played a lot in like, Commander and stuff, right?
Legacy.
Legacy?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
there's some neat plays you can do with this in Merfolk and Legacy where you cast your own, like, you use Cavern of Souls to cast a Merfolk, and then use Daze to try to counter it, to bounce an island to your hand so that you have more open mana.
Right, yeah, you can. There's a bunch of things you can do.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. So yeah, you don't even have to be just force spiking your opponent. You can even just use it to like make mana.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Very cool. How
It's
about
like $1.50 too. Ooh.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
up to like $4 or $5 because this card is a legacy staple in Merfolk and also in Canadian Threshold or whatever. Now it's like four-color Delver, right? That's the same.
There's
deck.
also the Amonkhet
That's right, yeah.
invocation version, of course.
Right. Before they reprinted it in one of the Masters set, there was a Masters preprint. It was up to like $4 or $5 for one copy.
Yeah.
This one, yeah. So Eternal Masters, that really helped because there's not that much demand for it because it's mostly just legacy, but there wasn't very much supply.
I like the original art, but this guy doesn't look dazed. He looks like he's in deep trouble.
Yeah.
Fair.
Whereas
Yeah.
the original art is just like, oh,
It's
what's
hard.
happening?
Look at that.
It's hard to beat the Amonkhet Invocation art. Like
Yeah,
you look at the
yeah.
Amonkhet Invocation art, it's like you are actually dazed.
Well,
like
and
you're
what I
just like,
like-
oh my god.
what I like is like he's looking at like colorful glowing things and the invocation art. He's also looking at colorful glowing things. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I dig it. But
Certainly
next,
the best card in the pack we've opened so far. Yeah.
Yes. How about Downhill Charge? 2 and a red for an instant. You may sacrifice a mountain instead of paying Downhill Charge's mana cost. Target creature gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of mountains you control.
This is a card.
Absolutely.
I think it has goblins on it, so probably we've considered playing it in goblins. But then we realized that it needs you to have a lot of mountains in play, and goblins doesn't do that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this card's ever been played ever by anyone.
Yeah, it seems. At first glance, you're like, yeah, and then you're like, but no, because it doesn't buff toughness.
Well,
I
is
mean,
that
like-
really the problem?
Yeah, it'll allow you, unblocked creature suddenly gets like +6, but no, it'll get like plus
Plus
5, yeah,
plus
yeah.
five.
+3 because you sacked one of your mountains already to play this.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you're behind.
Yeah.
And your opponent isn't really dead because it wasn't that big of a. They go from
But I
10
guess-
to 6.
Yeah,
right?
you can you surprise trade. This might now I can.
Hey, you know what?
Guess what? I was just gonna chump block, but now we're gonna trade,
know
and
who
I
is-
have 3 for 1 to myself
You know who
because
it's
I've
a
lost a
combo
mountain, a
with?
card, and a
Oh
creature.
yeah, hey yeah.
If we just slammed it on our Laccolith Whelp, it's not so bad. Maybe we can kill one of their creatures.
Yeah, I think you pay retail for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at retail, it's not good.
Maybe you're 2 for 1ing yourself with Laccolith Whelp to kill like their 4/4 flying
Ooh, yeah.
Stone Thopter.
Oh God.
I mean,
It
yeah,
doesn't-
maybe Flowstone Thopter is looking better and better looking at these packs. Right?
That's true. 4/4. That's huge.
7
Everything-
mana, but it-
Literally everything else has been a 1/1.
Yeah.
But what about this? We're mixing up our
Card reader?
no our look, we're changing our expectations here because we have a Sky Shroud Cutter, which is not coming up on our card reader for some reason.
Hates it. Card reader hates it. It's a 3 colorless and 1 green mana to cast, or 3 generic beast that's a 2/2. And says if you control a forest, you may have each other player gain 5 life instead of paying Sky Shroud Cutter's mana cost.
So you
Whoa,
can-
it's a free bear? I don't know if I've ever seen this card before. I'm like a little bit surprised that I haven't seen this flop on Highlander tables.
Interesting.
They gain 5 life,
But
and
you
you
get
get
a
a 2/2. This card seems like kind of decent. I don't know.
Yeah.
You just
This
have to
is one
control
like-
a 4. Like, doesn't this card seem okay? Like, obviously in decks that are trying to race super fast, it has to connect 3 times before it pays for itself. Like, so this is a cousin of Invigorate, I suppose, where like it's really good in poison because you don't care about how much life they have.
Right. Or in maybe in a Gruul deck.
But
that's
honestly,
really interdicted
yeah.
its opponent's ability to gain life.
Honestly, Invigorate's not that bad a card, even if you're doing regular damage, because you can kill creatures with it. And this guy, just like, I don't know, if you're playing any equipment, just like having a free bear, or if you're trying to like flip Gideon or playing those Boros cards that need 3 creatures to attack, you know, I don't know. If you're playing mass pump spells, or you're playing token strategies, maybe.
Yeah.
Like this guy.
If you're playing Glorious Anthem, you only have to connect them twice before he pays for himself.
Yeah, like do you play Savannah? Play a Savannah line
Yeah,
category card and flop this out on turn 1?
yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah. I mean, that seems fine.
Maybe it turns out 5 is too much life. And there's other better cards, but 0 is a very small amount of mana to pay.
It's
Yeah,
the smallest.
I was just looking. Apparently, there was like a beast deck that liked this guy,
Okay.
but generally considered to be too much life for just a vanilla 2/2.
Sure.
Right. What if it was 4 life? Oh, that'd be bonkers.
I don't know. We could do this all day. At 3 life, I think he'd be seeing play for sure.
How about Treetop Bracers? Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and can only be blocked by creatures of flying. That's an enchantment for 1 and a green.
Oh my God, they're bracers of brachiation. We found these in a Dark Sun campaign in D&D once.
Neat.
We opened a magic item cache, and there was bracers of brachiation, which allow you to swing from tree branch to tree branch.
Oh, cool.
Sweet.
On Dark Sun.
Oh, I see. Which
was
is
a
all
desert
deserts.
planet.
Yeah. That's funny.
Womp womp.
Yep.
Your DM hated you, eh?
Well, I mean,
Well, we were like, the theory we came up
you
with
weren't the
was
only
that
plane shifting people or whatever, right? Yeah.
this was a treasure cache that people had been through many times. And they were like, you know what? It's okay.
Yeah, like when someone comes into the store and it's like, hey, I have these magic cards. My roommate left them in the closet, and you go through, it's just like, no, all the dual lands and planeswalkers are gone from this collection.
It's one of those. It's like, take a treasure, leave a treasure.
Yeah.
Well, what about, since there was, Phyrexians on the packet, but we haven't seen any, how about a Phyrexian Driver? Ooh. He's a 1/1 for 3. When Phyrexian Driver comes into play, all other mercenaries get +1/+1 till end of turn, because he's a mercenary.
Cav Walker, or no, Chippy art,
Chippy
sorry.
art, yeah.
So yeah, 1/1 appears to be, God, your 2/2. Your 2/2 here is amazing. Mm-hmm. The animate land eats anything.
Yeah.
Pretty safe in this set, apparently.
Chippy is easily the best thing going for this card. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How about...
This guy pumps your opponent's mercenaries.
Oh.
How about Lightbringer?
Cool
It's
name.
a 2/2 for 3. Holy crap, look at them stats. You can fetch this with your Hawk.
Wow.
Tap and sacrifice Lightbringer. Remove target black creature from the game. Oh, that's kind of cool. He's
And
like
it's got Parente art, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so he's like he's a reverse Doomblade.
Yeah.
Because he only hits black creatures.
Exiles them, though. Yeah. So
Oh,
that's cool.
That's actually fine.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of white removal exiles. So this guy's good against the mercenaries, right? The rebels versus mercenaries.
Was a theme.
Kind of, yeah. They both sort of do the same things where they can get each other out of the decks, and then they fight each other.
Right.
Yeah.
They're that anxious to go to battle. They don't need to wait to be drawn.
I think you could consider first picking this or the Falcon over Days if you were drafting this set, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty hot for the Days so far.
I'd probably go with the Falcon.
Yeah, okay.
To let me get other rebels.
Sure.
But we haven't seen our rare yet.
All right.
Our rare is Ether Barrier.
Quab.
Wow, that is a weird looking crab. Are those nipples or eyes with a little happy face on the chest?
I
Oh
don't
my
wanna
God,
know.
it's
Why
actually
are we
doing the
doing this?
stupid anime hamster face.
Yeah, it's like, me.
Yeah, the
Or he's been replaced by a Ditto.
Ether Barrier is an enchantment for 2 and a blue that says whenever a player plays a creature spell, that player sacrifices a permanent unless he or she pays 1.
So kind of part of the Ristix cycle of cards here a little bit,
Yeah.
right? Like the whole theme of taxing 1 mana whenever something happens. I don't know if I've ever seen this on the battlefield either, but seems okay and kind of a hard control deck.
I'm never going to unsee this goofy happy face.
Yeah, that crab is glad that you've come to the Ether Barrier. Welcome.
Hello.
Let's have a good time. Come on in, the water's warm.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's this?
Ha! So I think
Thanks, Shivam.
Yeah, thank you, Shivam.
This pack is terrible.
I think maybe this set was does not meet our current expectations of Magic cards.
Yeah, I guess last week we opened a pack of the Dark that had a Blood Moon in it, so I'm probably spoiled for life now.
That's
at this
true,
point. I just
actually.
want my Cracker packs to be all gold.
But by the way, you're talking
But without
about
the Glod, how will we appreciate the gold?
you were talking about Mike Plug.
Right.
Yes.
Who did the Flowstone Thopter. And I was just looking up what other he looks like. Most of his art was primarily during the Masks block, but he did some absolutely gorgeous
wow.
lands.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
The forest, a plains,
Cool.
Okay, yeah.
These are from some kind of promotional
and
set.
a swamp.
Yeah, those didn't even come in booster packs. They were like APAC land promos or something, or European land promos.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, they're Magic Online promos.
So I mean, I don't know if that's that's the Magic Online symbol. I don't know if that art was commissioned specifically for Magic Online. They have done that a little bit.
That's a nice looking swamp.
So
though.
maybe. But the first one you showed us was from the printing of Knights versus Dragons, but before that it was like in a land promo pack. So they were like really rare to get that art for the first few years of its
It's
life.
gorgeous. The quality of light on it's really, really
Yeah,
nice.
it's really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the kind of up there with like sort of Phil Foglio and not that, but it's sort of a style of magic art that is not really used that much
Not
anymore.
very popular anymore, yeah.
It's a little bit more sort of
Classic high fantasy.
pop
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
More Terry Pratchett and like less pitch black.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like I mean, Flowstone Thopter looking better and better.
Yeah.
Like a 7/1 flyer.
Look at these burly men.
Oh yeah. Okay, more.
Having their
Yes.
manly
More.
handshake.
More tracks, more packs for the pack god. How about 13?
13, pack number 13.
10. 1, 2, 3. Oh, donated to Lur from Alex Milstein.
Thanks, Alex.
Milstein?
Milstein.
Milstein?
I'm sorry.
From Roscoe, and it's from Mailtime 2017.
Oh, excellent. And whoop.
Ooh.
How about this is Conspiracy
Conspiracy
Take the
Dose.
Crown, which I actually never really got to play any of. Because it came out like right after I had a large life event.
Right, that's right. I was gonna say, I'm like, I got invited to come and draft, but I suppose I was in your place because you were broken in half.
Yes. Oh, hey. Well, let's kick it off with Trumpet Blast.
Sad trombone.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
So this set. I really like both these sets, and kudos to all of R&D for building Conspiracy because I don't know if I've ever had as much fun in multiplayer as I have with Conspiracy. I mostly don't even like multiplayer, but Conspiracy is cool.
Conspiracy is hot shit.
Yeah. So as you can see, it says 1 red and 2 generic for an instant. It says attacking creatures get +2 until end of turn. They don't have to be your attacking creatures.
Yes, especially.
They don't have to be attacking you.
Yeah.
They're just whatever creatures are attacking right now. They might be attacking various other players, or they might even be attacking you, but it's still worth.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite thing to do in mid-go is to believe that this card reads your creatures get +2, +0 until
and
end of
play it
turn.
on your opponent's turn.
Yeah, play it on my opponent's turn after declaring blockers to trade off a bunch of stuff and be like, haha, got him.
Got him.
Dead. What?
Yeah. All right. Well, Cam has the specialist of trumpets for
Yes.
blasting.
Yeah. How about Absorb Viz? What beautiful art on this card. I really like the colors.
This
So
ended a lot of conspiracy games.
Yes, this is Absorb Viz is 6 and a black for sorcery that says target player loses 4 life and you gain 4 life, but also basic land cycling. And I feel like 4 life at 7 is just the sweet spot of when, like, if you draw this early in the game, you're like, get out of here.
For sure.
Give me a land.
Yeah, the base land cycling's great. Helps smooth out your hands.
But like you draw this late and you're like, I have 7 mana and I have 3 opponents and one of them is at 3.
Yep.
And I don't have a way of killing them because they have a huge board. But now I do.
Yeah, and you can play it a few different ways. Commonly, either you can like tap out and hope to not die from like the one person who's supposed to kill you, if you also have fog or something like respite or whatever, and then like you can just untap and absorb Vis them, or you might just absorb Vis them and then like try to kill the other 2 players immediately or on your next turn. But yeah, a lot of games were decided by an absorb Vis.
Good card. I like this kind of like modal thing. That's why cycling is so powerful.
It was great to have at least one of them in your deck.
This is from Alara, isn't it?
No, basic land cycling, I believe is. Oh yes, sorry, Alara. That's right. Yeah, Shards of Alara.
It's interesting. I was just looking at when this first came out, it was actually it's like, oh, it's land searching in black,
Right.
and also you occasionally do other stuff, but it's mostly just land search in black, which is very uncommon.
Yeah, in draft, I think you're mostly just looking to like put the pieces of your 3 to 5 color deck together. Like the basic land cycling cards in Alara, they were mostly cycled.
But sometimes you got the other mode and it was
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, for sure. In Conspiracy, more often I think you wait till 7 mana and you dome someone out. Yeah.
Speaking of land cycling, we also have Traumatic Visions, which is 3 blue for an instant that says counter target spell, which is a lot, but it also has basic land cycling for 1 and a blue.
Same casting cost as Force of Will. So
Yeah.
if you've played Legacy and you know how often you just get to 5 and sometimes just Force of Will people for the full price.
Paying retail for
Yeah,
Forcible,
paying retail.
really?
I know it happens. Watch any SCG open all day. It's going to happen at some point.
Huh.
You just like
So don't want the card disadvantage, so...
Well, for sure. I mean, like
Or sometimes you have 5.
you force of will for pitching a card way more often because you can do that like on turn 1.
Right.
But every deck that plays 4 force of wills is going to have games during their tournament where they just stall out. Neither player can kill the other one, and then you stop pitching extra cards because you don't need to.
Right.
I'm trying to imagine what the artist brief on this was. It's like guy scared and then a bunch of weird stuff. I don't know, like an owl. Those are scary, right?
Yeah.
An octopus?
Who says the owl? Yeah, there's like a big eye of something.
A skull. I don't know. Cyril van der Hagen really knocked it out of the park. It's
Yeah.
weird as hell.
Pretty great art. Yeah.
Looks like Salvador Dali having a bad day. Does he have a little thin mustache? I don't know. His face is melting a bit, so it's hard to tell.
That's just the color his lips go. Yeah.
Yeah. How about a little bit of Hurley and a little bit of Burley? It's a 1 and a red sorcery. You can choose one. Hurley deals 1 damage to each creature without flying. Burley deals 1 damage to each creature with flying. That's not exactly how it reads, but it should.
So yeah, choose Hurley or Burley.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you can ping all non-flyers or ping all flyers.
Then the hurly-burly will be done.
I always joke. Well,
And I guess they can hang out with Macbeth then?
yeah. In my friend group, we tend to joke that this is the best card in Magic because it so often does something that's really good. But when you're drafting, it just seems like you never want to pick this because it's like not powerful and also hits your own stuff and like it's just kind of bad. But then routinely you'll get into board states where you're just like, I wish I had Hurly Burly. So
Ooh.
That's great, actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
How about Lace with Moonglove?
Taking it, first picking it, Rebecca Goyard.
Yeah, I was about to say, who cares about anything else? Look at that sick Rebecca Gway art. It is 2 and green for an instant. Target creature gains death touch until end of turn. Draw a card.
It's this interesting, like, long, drawn-out cycle of these combat tricks in green or black that offer, like, Death Touch or Regeneration Shield or both, or, like, enough power that a creature will trade. But generally it's like this, like, there's, like, a green-black associated, like, mutually assured destruction in combat. Except sometimes they also throw Regeneration in there. So it's like, I don't know. But this one's not bad. I mean, it was originally from Lorwyn, and I think you almost never picked it in that set, but...
How was it
cool.
in Conspiracy Take the Crown?
I mean, it was a cantrip.
I mean, I think you would cast this on an opponent's creature.
For sure, you can just get 2 yeah, you can turn someone else's chump block into a kill with it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, actually.
Honestly, though, the effect was still so narrow that I didn't usually find room for it. Like, it's a cool card, and there's room to play with it, but it's still not powerful enough that you want it in your deck because you only play 40 cards.
I know, you really spiked my interest with the thought of, like, playing a card that just you can use to goozle other cards.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's a bunch of them in this set. There's a bunch, and in the first set, too. Yeah.
And you draw a card, but I don't know.
It's still just like you need to have a deck to play to get
Yeah.
into the situation where you aren't just getting attacked to death, right?
Yeah,
So-
you need to survive to make this good.
Yeah.
I do love the idea though of like somebody attacking somebody else, knowing that they're gonna like bounce off or like it's just kind of a nothing attack. And
Yeah.
like, surprise.
Surprise! Yeah, exactly. I better attack this 12/12 into that pile of 1/1s you've got, right?
How about Zealous Strike? Originally from Innistrad. It's a 1 and a white for an instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains first strike until end of turn. Yeah,
This is also kind of bottom of the barrel, I think, but it's fine.
card's fine.
It's great in 1v1.
Ooh, what about Sylvan Bounty?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
instant life gain. Suck on that, Absorbivis.
Or what you're actually probably doing is basic land cycling, because this is 6 and a green for target player gains 8 life at instant speed.
The same amount of yeah.
Life gains swing, yeah, except it's 1 less mana
Yeah,
and an instant.
or what you're just gonna pay 1 and a green. And,
You're mostly
and
gonna cycle with it, yeah, that's true.
I don't think I've seen people play Sylvan Bounty as a cycling thing. I don't think I've ever seen people like gain the life.
As I was saying earlier, in Conspiracy you gain the life more often.
All right.
Yeah, you're gonna actually gain the life more often when you play this card.
Oh, this takes me back. Wild Griffin. It's a 2/2 flyer for 3. I think this was in like one of the first sets I started playing, like maybe like Core 2010 or something.
Yeah,
like
for
that.
sure. This is one of the early reprints of Windrake, and it's Windrake in white. And yeah, just Scathe zombies with flying. Like I was saying earlier, you got to build a deck to play these Conspiracy games, and this is a card you can put in your deck.
This turns sideways and blocks.
It's fine. It's not horrible.
You
It's
know
fine.
what? This is a C. It's gonna
Yeah,
get the
that's
job
right.
done.
That's right. Yeah.
No one's going to complain, but no one's going to find it particularly
right.
inspiring. No one's going to be like, you know what the true all-star of this game was? Wild Griffin.
Right.
Maybe if your opponent was stuck on land and didn't actually resolve anything until like turn 6.
Well, yeah, I mean, one of the most
remember how-
interesting things about conspiracy games is how quick they could be over if, someone just played like a really normal game and everyone else either like stumbled or like
Was
kind of
this-
next leveled themselves. Like sometimes you're just
Screwing
like,
around.
everyone's just like waiting for the spontaneous combustion that they think like one or two other people have, and then it never comes and they just like get behind on tempo and just kind of lose to Wild Griffin. Like that can happen too.
How about Twin Bolt from Cons of Tarkir?
One of those sets might have been Dragons of Tarkir.
Maybe.
I never really paid much attention to the art on this before because the crackling arrows on the bow really like center your eye, but that face is weird.
Yep. She's like very concerned about what she's about to do, right?
That's the face of concentration.
Either that or she's like working on something in her bowels.
Dragons.
Dragons of Tarkir? Yeah, she's just like, ooh, I ate something spicy for breakfast.
Yeah. But Twin Bolt is 1 and a red for an instant, and it deals 2 damage, divided as you choose among 1 or 2 target creatures and or players.
It's fire.
It's great. Like, it's a very flexible card. It's 1 more than Magma Jet. No, Magma Jet's...
Magma Jet deals 2 for the
but
same
you get to
price.
scry.
You get scry
And you don't
instead
get
of
to
splitting the
divide it.
damage, yeah. So it's 1 more
Or than
than
shock.
Forked Bolt, which is the really
Yeah.
common one. That's a sorcery that does the exact same effect, but for only 1 red mana.
Yeah,
Right.
like more popularly known as the fire component of Fire Ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fire, yeah.
Yeah.
Fire. Hey, how about Unnerve? Each opponent discards 2 cards for
Each
4 mana.
opponent.
Each
So-
opponent.
So this is okay, but it paints a huge target on you. So like you maybe just like cast it if you think that you can win with what's on the board. Or sometimes it'll be right after a wrath. Just have like someone else wraths, and then you untap and no one has anything on the board, and you just like clean everyone's hand out.
Right.
Hey, here's a question for you. Look at the flavor text here. If fear is the only tool you have left, you'll never control me. Xantia to Gix. Isn't like they're in
Oh no.
Dominaria? Isn't there the blue-black legendary creature?
Disciple of Gix.
Disciple of Gix. This
Yeah.
is Gix.
There it is.
Yeah, well, yeah, there was Priest of Gix as well.
Yeah, who's Gix?
Rings
Gix
of
was,
Gix.
I forget who
Definitely
Gix
a
was.
character
Oh,
from the Magic lore.
Xantia for Phyrexian Outcast. There's Xantia again.
Yeah.
Gix doesn't want people to rule, but puppets to entertain his madness. For
All right, so maybe Gix was a Phyrexian.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure we could look this up.
Oh, when the Brotherhood of Gix dug out the Cave of Koilos, they found their master's severed hand. They enshrined it, hoping that one day it would point the way to Phyrexia.
I feel like my guess that he was a Phyrexian is a good one.
Now,
Or
that
she, I
seems-
don't know.
Yeah, Gix definitely seems to be a Phyrexian of
Oh
some
no,
kind.
I think it's
Sweet.
he.
Okay.
Because I think Xantia was just describing him.
All right.
Yeah, that he wants puppets to rule, but
Okay.
yeah, all right, Gix. There's some magic lore for you. How about Merfolk Sky Scout, 2 blue for a 2/3 flyer. Merfolk Scout. Whenever Merfolk Scout attacks or blocks, untap target permanent.
2/3 vigilance for 4. Not bad.
No.
Flying.
Flying vigilance for 4. That's great.
It's a little pricey.
I'm okay with that because it's not just it's vigilant. Maybe something else that's even more relevant is vigilant.
Yeah, it can make mana in blue.
It blocks the
Wild
Griffin.
Yep. Blocks Wild
and,
Griffin.
and it's whenever it attacks or blocks. So you don't need to attack with it.
You can set up weird alliances with people where, like, the player on your right, you get them to agree to attack with their big creature, someone else promising that you will untap it with your Sky Scout, and then you can either hold up your end of the bargain or not because they have to wait till your turn and trust you.
Yeah.
So if you do that 4 times, then they'll start trusting you.
I
same.
like this card. It seems very flexible to me. That's my pick so far from this pack.
Cool. Yeah, I like it too.
How about Gang of Devils? When Gang of Devils dies, it deals 3 damage divided as you choose among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures and or players, and it's a 3/3 for 6, 5 and a red.
It's a cool death rattle ability. Really strong split up damage effect, but it's 6 mana.
6 mana, but I mean, if it dies, you're dealing 6 damage.
3 damage. Oh yeah,
Well,
sure, yeah.
You get the three from its power, and then the other 3.
Yeah, it can block a 6/6, but I think more commonly it just wants to kind of chump block and kill a flyer. But it's like a really expensive way to do that. I don't know. I remember being kind of disappointed with this card. Although it can kill a player. It's only 1 less damage than Absorb This, as we were saying before. So you can kind of play this when you need that inevitability.
Yeah, I think it's fine, but I'm not excited by it.
No, it's 6 mana. You don't want too many of them in your deck, yeah.
How about Cam and I dealt with this Coveted Peacock.
This is a new card, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever
Okay.
Coveted Peacock attacks, you may goad target creature, because goad was a mechanic from this set. Defending player controls until your next turn. That creature attacks each combat if able, and attacks a player other than you if able. It's a 3/4 flyer for 5.
That makes me pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's now my pick, because
Probably
those
better
stats
than
are
the
big.
Sky Shout, yeah. Sky Scout, sorry.
Well, that's okay. But hey, how about for our rare? Actually, let's do our conspiracy
Sure, the
first.
conspiracy.
Our conspiracy is Hired Heist, which is a hidden agenda. Start the game with this conspiracy face down, and then secretly name a card, blah, blah, blah. That's how hidden agendas work. Whenever a creature you control with the chosen name deals combat damage to a player, you may pay blue. If you do, draw a card. Well, that's kind of neat. You can turn everybody into...
Looter, right?
Looter.
Or, yeah. Or a magpie, I guess.
Magpie.
Yeah, like a magpie, we gotta pay blue. Yeah.
Yeah, that seems fine. If you pick up, like, 3 of or something like that.
Yeah, no, these all the conspiracies are good because they don't take a card slot in your deck. In Conspiracy 2, I think they really did a good job of balancing them so that you weren't just always supposed to first pick all the conspiracies. Because
Yeah.
most of them in the first set,
We're so powerful.
you wanted to take the conspiracies whenever you saw them, I think.
Yeah.
Like I remember in Conspiracy 1, I wound up playing a lot of like Liliana's Spectre decks.
Sure.
Where they had
searched each other out or
Yeah, they
whatever,
searched
yeah.
each other out, and then they were discounted, and then they were +1/+1.
Yeah, my favorite thing was just getting a whole bunch of the Skitter of Lizards to like add mana, and so then you could like turn one out like 4 Skitter of Lizards, and like maybe they're also 2/2s, so the last one attacks for 2, and then you like untap on turn 2 with 10 power.
Yeah, seems good.
I did something very similar to that with those conspiracies in Conspiracy 1 in like a white-black deck. Not with Skitter of Lizards, but like I had multiple of creatures, and I think the game was over like 4 turns in.
There's one that gives haste too. You could do it with Doom Traveler, so you'd be like on white where like Doom Traveler has haste and makes a mana of any color, so then you can like get a bunch of Doom Travelers out. So now you even have like a flexible army.
Yeah.
Really early in the game.
But what's our rare?
What is our rare?
What is our rare?
It's Phyrexian Arena, actually.
Whoa!
hey.
Cool
Which
card.
is a really good card. At the beginning of your upkeep, you draw a card and you lose 1 life.
So this card's actually kind of sketchy in multiplayer.
Yeah.
You have more resources than your opponent because you're drawing extra cards, but the life loss is like more of a concern than it would be in 1v1.
Well, it's the beginning of your upkeep, so it's not every upkeep.
No,
So,
yeah.
but-
It doesn't kill you faster. It's just that like a lot of these games, like, you know,
How many times have you played a Commander game where someone's died to their own Phyrexian Arena? And people stop attacking the person because they see the inevitability. They're like, no,
Right.
you can be hoisted by your own petard.
yeah, exactly. Like it does happen. So I don't know. It's a really good card, and it's certainly the most valuable one for your collection if you're drafting. But I think I like first picking that Coveted Peacock the best.
I mean, I'm
Still.
a trash human, and I'm definitely just going to take the Phyrexian Arena and be
Sure.
like, yes, value, draw cards.
That's fair.
So
How about you, Cam? Do you just want to absorb this?
Oh, definitely. Coveted Peacock is very strong. I think I would probably just take the Phyrexian Arena because, again,
Team Goth.
All right.
Yeah, it has Koth.
Yeah. That's him down in Phyrexia being like, oh, these centipedes, they never stop.
Yeah.
Weird.
I just came down to the basement to look for an old book, and now
I came down to poop, and now there's like 8 freaking Phyrexian centipedes in here every time. Oh.
More packs?
More
More
packs.
packs.
More packs.
Bring us more
Thank you,
packs.
Conspiracy Pack.
18.
All right, gonna make me count.
Going
quite high
deep.
here. 5.
I'd like to take Cam's counting break to whine about MTG Arena. I don't know if I had mentioned yet, but if you try to talk to someone at the beginning of the game to say hello, and then your hand pops up, you mulligan. It's like right over top of hello. It's like, that'll teach me, right? Like, why did I say hello?
Well,
Well-
this pack is Homelands, so this will be quick, so maybe we can get through 4 packs.
Sure, okay.
You finally did it.
This is from Daniel Wells at GP Vegas.
Thank you for
Oh.
the... What are we hoping for here? We might get a memory lapse, right?
That's
Yeah,
true.
might get a memory lapse. Might get a
this
was
one?
Merchant Scroll.
Oh yeah, Merchant Scroll. There you go.
Is
That's
this one
probably
of the
the most
ones where
expensive
the
card.
rare was at the front, or is it at the back?
Who knows? because it's not marked.
Okay, well, I'm just going in the order they're in then. How about that?
Most of the rares are worth the same as the commons anyway.
Dry spell.
Which is nothing.
1 and a black
Hurly burly.
for a sorcery. Dry spell deals 1 damage to each creature and each player. That's not that bad.
Not that bad.
Oh, well, we'll just wait for Paul to get
Sorry.
caught up.
This is
It's got a sweet picture by Brian Snowdy of a skull in a desert
And
with
some sort of like
the fancy helmet.
yeah.
Corinthian helmet.
The
Right,
helmet
the,
is fine.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Hellblind's in the multiple art thing, which messes
Yeah.
up the reader.
All right, so
Oh, and flavor text by Ilson Shade.
There you go.
Ilson Shade. Yes.
I'm not a very good singer, but I feel like this one I have to sing for.
Oh no.
You can do it. You've been practicing for 2.5 years now.
I mean, this is very good for Team Goth.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps you can meet me at the cemetery gates.
Oh man.
Cemetery gate. How many times do I get to make a Smith reference on this podcast? Morrissey sucks. 2 and a black. Summon wall. 05. Protection from black.
Yep.
Oh, look,
Yeah.
there's Morrissey right on the card.
There he is. Yeah.
He's
Amazing
angry because all he eats is yogurt.
Yeah. Super pretty Melissa Benson, like sexy zombie art trying to get into this cemetery, but it's not happening.
He
Morrissey.
definitely looks like he's in some sort of 80s video,
Yeah.
beckoning young girls to go on some sort of midnight motorcycle ride
Yeah.
with bats.
To their doom, right?
Oh, but they're sexy doom. They're a sexy zombie at the end of the video.
Yeah.
It's a journey.
It's very Lost Boys, right?
Ooh, Lost Boys.
Hey, you know what? You know what is the kind of creature that really I find inspiring? You know what I really get excited about playing because this is a magical game with all sorts of fantastical creatures?
What's that?
How about Asen Bureaucrats? Finally, summon bureaucrats. 1 and a white to summon bureaucrats. 1/1. Tap. Target creature with power no greater than 2.
Yeah. This isn't the card that, or maybe it was, like this isn't the card that you showed your friends if you wanted them to start playing with you. But this was like the card that your mom saw you playing on the kitchen table or something. It's like,
She's-
oh, what's your game there? What are you playing there? Oh, well, there's some people talking. One of them has a beard. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Bureaucrats, huh, honey?
Yeah.
Okay, you have fun. Get your chores done on time.
Are you sure you don't want to go to like summer camp?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, learn some fun skills.
Your cousins are out in the backyard playing with wooden swords and hitting each other. Did you want to do that? No, Mom, this is cool.
Yeah. Are you sure we can't just start a bonfire for you to look at?
Hey, honey, do you want to come watch TV or play video games? No, I'm playing with my Asian bureaucrats. I'm about to tap
But
Dad's creature. Yeah. Oh no, he made it big in response. What happens?
by the way,
They debate.
they are now human advisors,
Oh, you can play this in your tribal advisor deck after all.
along
Great.
with your droning bureaucrats.
Yeah.
I have to say that from a comedy perspective, so far Homelands has been gold.
Yep.
This card is just a card. This is Ambush.
Gotcha.
Ambush, 3 and a red. For an instant, all blocking creatures gain first strike until end of turn.
You thought this was a chump block, but watch out, I had 4 open mana to give all of my goblins first strike. If your combat trick costs this much, it better damn well draw you a card.
Or make it so you're not just like trading.
Or not have the word blocking creatures on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creatures you control gain first strike until end of turn.
I mean, it's-
That
All
would be-
blocking creatures are destroyed.
How about
I would pay 4 mana for
Yeah.
that, maybe.
Yeah. How about like flavorful? This is an ambush. Surprise! Right?
How about surprise? Create 3 2/2 beast tokens with first strike at end of turn. Exile them. That's
Yeah.
that's what ambush is.
The
supposed
flavor
to be,
text
right?
on the card is, don't they have anything better to do?
No, they don't. They're playing Homelands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Hungry Mist?
Nom nom nom.
You are not you when you're hungry. Snap into a Slim Jim. That's a 6/2 for 2 and a green. It's for 2 and 2 green. For 2 green. But during your upkeep, you must pay green or bury Hungry Mist.
Ooh, it doesn't say sacrifice. So if you had some kind of like indestructible enchantment, you could just put it on this thing. It doesn't tap itself or anything. So if you can slap like the Helm of Indestructibility or whatever.
It's been.
Oh no, it's
no.
been Oracle errata to say
Yeah,
sacrifice.
your wombo combo doesn't work. Sorry.
I wanted so many big things for you, Hungry Mist.
Le
I'm
womp
sorry.
womp.
Womp womp.
Okay, how about Sea Troll, Summon Troll
I see them every time I open up YouTube.
for 2 and a blue. It's 2/1. And it has 1 blue Regenerate. But use this ability only during a turn in which Sea Troll blocked a blue creature or a blue creature blocked Sea Troll.
Huh.
Oh.
Well, it's a 3-mana 2/1.
I mean,
yeah, you can attack with it and just let it trade.
The flavor text on this card is, I've seen those trolls devour a drowning sailor faster than his lungs could fill with water. Drowning's not actually particularly fast, so that sounds horrific.
yeah.
It takes minutes to drown, actually.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Yep.
How about Winter Sky? 1 red. Sorcery. What value? Flip a coin.
Oh, good.
Target opponent calls heads or tails while the coin is in the air. If the flip ends up in your favor, Winter Sky deals 1 damage to each creature and player. Otherwise, each player draws a card.
Yeah.
So
This, I think, might be on the radar for worst card in the game.
It's so bad.
I mean, you can hurly-burly with this.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
2
when-
hurly-burlies in this pack.
Yeah,
Except
like-
this one maybe just draws cards.
yeah, like when
You are down a card, and all your creatures get damaged.
Well, they're creatures too, right?
Like, can you imagine being in the situation where you're like, come on, hurly burly, and you flip the card, and you don't get hurly
you get
burly.
Howling Mine instead.
Yeah, and you howling mine instead, and you're like, oh, I was hoping for hurly burly.
Hey, what? Like this is the oracled one is flip a coin. If you win the flip, it does 1 damage to each creature and each player. If you lose the flip, each player draws a card.
Yeah.
Sure.
Why doesn't it just say like flip a coin? If it's heads, do this. If it's tails, do this. Like why?
To give you the illusion of agency. Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because it wants to. Magic is a game, and it wants anything that it creates to be other games. You know, so there's game like at the beginning of the game, you flip a coin to see who goes first or whatever. It's like,
Games all the way
and you know the
down.
Oracle is just trying to make people feel like they've won or lost games. You know.
I like the artwork too is very much like TFW Winter Sky. Right? You're just like,
I do have 1 more card, though, and it's actually, I think, probably one of the best cards in Homelands.
okay.
Definitely.
Merchant
Hey,
Scroll.
yeah.
Definitely one of the
Yeah.
best cards in Homelands.
It's Merchant Scroll. It's 1 and a blue for a sorcery.
Got there.
Is search your library for a blue instant or interrupt.
Just instant.
So just instant.
Yep.
Because interrupts don't exist anymore.
Thank you,
Reveal that
Justin.
card to all players and put it into your hand. Reshuffle your library afterwards. I think this is one of the only cards that people want from Homelands.
Yeah, if you're playing Canadian Highlander, you can go find your copy of Ancestral Recall with this.
Yep.
It's not like money.
$3.
Yeah, it's the most money in the pack for sure.
It might be the most money in the set.
It might be the most money in the set, actually.
But hey, that's not bad.
Yep.
Let's run it back with 1 more pack real quick.
One more.
Okay.
By the way, Merchant Scroll not on the reserve list. Winter Sky is because of course the reserve list is not based on
Oh.
how good the card is.
That's hilarious.
Oh, we've got a reserve list card, so that's like going to be $1,000, right?
Yeah, Winter Sky. You can buy one from LRR now for, you know, a cool Canadian grand.
Now, how about bring me a bag of almonds and we'll call it a deal?
Yeah, that's fair. Would
I'd like
give you
to-
that Winter Sky for a high
13
price.
again.
Okay, lucky 13. 5.
As we're filming this, Proter Dominaria is going down. I haven't seen any hot
BF
tech
set?
yet because they were drafting when we started. But
Oh, this was sent to us by Roscoe. Mail time, October 2017. So this
Thank
is a
you very
relatively
much.
fresh one.
Battle for Zendikar.
BFZ. I like BFZ a
I
lot.
was just gonna say I love this set. I loved Oath of the Gatewatch even more, but this set was good, very good, and it set us up for Oath of the Gatewatch.
Nurkana Assassin. 2 and black for a Vampire Ally Assassin 2/3. Whenever you gain life, Nurkana Assassin gains Death Touch until end of turn. I recall this card being fine,
Important cog in the black-white life gain deck.
but not like
Nope,
amazing.
not amazing. You didn't need to have it. It was just kind of good. You could get a lot of beats in.
Yeah, it also had the word ally on it.
Yep,
Yeah, that was,
but it was black. The good ally deck was just like red-white.
yeah. But what about this? Oracle of Dust. I love playing the Eldrazi in this set. It's a 3/5 for 4 and a blue, but of course it's technically colorless. It's devoid. 2, put card an opponent owns from exile into that player's graveyard. Draw a card, then discard a card. That was kind of a weird thing, but the Phyrexian or the Eldrazi in this set did things where they would exile things, but then you could get things out of exile. So it was weird.
This guy did dig me out of problems in a couple of games, but otherwise this was not how I was excited to spend my exiled cards.
Yeah, this is
No.
basically the weakest processor.
And it's an
but,
opponent owns.
You know, well, yeah, it's only so the processors are like you said. It's like
Yeah.
there were these enablers, a bunch of enabling cards that put your opponent's cards into exile, and then a bunch of other cards that kind of reap the rewards. But some of the ways they would reap rewards would like make 6/6 tokens, or like deal damage, or counter spells. Wasn't that one of them? But this one just loots for mana. You can do it multiple times in a turn, though. I mean, you can do it multiple times, period. Whereas a lot of them, you can only process like when you cast the spell.
Yeah.
So this is a good way to kind of like use up your extra if you manage to have their cards exiled.
Yeah,
Extra
but I
digested
recall,
cards.
like, I really, over the course of a game, maybe you'd get 2 or 3.
For sure. Yeah, it depends. I mean,
that's it.
depends how much enabling you had. Yeah.
All right. How about Calastria Healer?
Oh, my bad. There was a. There were ally decks that played this guy. This was
Yeah.
like a cornerstone of a deck.
Yeah. So he's a 1/2 for 2 Vampire Cleric ally, and that's 1 and a black. Rally. Whenever Calastria Healer or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Yeah, this guy was surprisingly good even with his kind of mess stats.
Yeah, you could win the game by just playing 2 of these in a row early, than just playing any other allies, doing some attacking, and continuing to play allies. Yeah.
Speaking of allies, how about Cliffside Lookout, which was a 1/1 for 1, but with that core scout ally, very relevant creature type there. And for 4 and a white, creatures you control get +1/+1 till end of turn.
This guy was okay.
So if you had 10 mana, you could give everything 2/2.
Yeah, if that happens, I don't know what deck you were in, but
I don't know what format you were playing.
you could either put them in the like black-white ally deck or the red-white ally deck where you cared about the rally triggers, or he was also okay in just like any white-based, very aggressive deck.
She was okay. This is a card, Coral Helm Guide. I remember playing Coral Helm Guide and like never really using that 5 mana ability.
It was problematic, or troublesome, really. Whenever I played with it, I just got run over. But then opponents would play it, and I'd be like, well, I'm going to get hit by an 8-power creature next turn, and there's nothing I can do about
I
it.
can't remember like what kind of archetype you wanted to play this in, but I
Yeah.
do remember it just being relevant sometimes. Like if you're kind of racing,
Let me just cut
can
in and
win a
read
race.
the card
Yeah.
for the podcast version. Coral Helm Guide is 1 and a blue for a Merfolk Scout ally. It's 2/1, and you can pay 4 and a blue. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. So same cycle as the Cliffside Lookout sort of thing. Like activated abilities, but they're expensive. But they're spells on sticks. I recall mostly this was a 2/1, and it was fine.
yeah.
But
I mean, it's an ally, so if
The
you've got an
problem I
ally theme.
remember with this set is that if you picked up too many of these small allies without any kind of and I think this was the point of this unblockable thing, is all the Phyrexians had huge, or the Eldrazi had big butts. You're talking like 2 4s, 3 5s, and it was very
6/6s, yeah.
very hard to get your little dudes in. So if you were like me and you just want to draft the deck with the best cards, you pretty much always went with Eldrazi if they were open, because it was just much more reliable to get a good deck out of, right?
Yeah, you didn't
You had
usually
to be tricksy with the allies deck. They were more like these little synergistic piles of cards.
For sure, like you didn't always have flying creatures up the wazoo if you were an Eldrazi. So and this one offers evasion, so there's that. So like a bunch of the white creatures fly.
Dominator Drone, speaking of Eldrazi. Dominator Drone is 2 and a black for a 3/2. He's technically colorless though. With Ingest. Whenever this player deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles the top card of his or her library. Then you can process it like with the other thing we were talking about. And when Dominator Drone enters the battlefield, if you control another colorless creature, each opponent loses 2 life.
I remember this being a fairly useful curve filler.
Really solid role play.
Yeah, it was just... It just went into a deck. It was fine. It wasn't amazing, but sometimes you get it would process things. 3 was good.
Yeah,
Maybe
well,
you
with
nugged them for 2.
with
Got
3
2
power,
upsides
really,
on 2 stat. Good
it-
stats, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was a good card.
Yeah, you
C
were right.
plus.
I would say like B plus. Maybe.
Really? I don't
Oh
think
yeah.
it was that good.
I think you were happy to play this card.
Yeah.
I think so far in this pack, it might be my first pick.
Oh, absolutely. I'm taking the
Unless I
Dominator
want the
Drone.
Calastria Healer.
I would probably just play it safe and go with the...
Sure.
Eldrazi.
Yeah, I think this one's safer. Yeah.
What about Blister Pod?
Oh
It's
yeah.
a 1/1 for 1 green, and when it dies, you put a 1/1 colorless Eldrazi Cyan creature token onto the battlefield and
Deck.
sacrifice this creature.
This
Deal
deck-
1 mana to add 1 to
Sorry.
your mana pool. Sorry.
This deck was so fun, and it was like the last thing in the format that I saw kind of explored. At least on the tables at YJ, I can remember my friend Spencer drafting this black green sacrifice theme deck, and it was really cool.
Yeah, what was
fun.
the uncommon? The Catacomb Sifter?
That sounds like a card, but there's definitely there was a black enchantment that let you sacrifice creatures to gain life and draw cards. Oh yeah, and then this one helped with it. There's a bunch of good synergistic cards in those two colors.
Oh yeah,
but
whenever a
Blister
creature
Pod,
you control dies, scry 1.
there was 4 mana. Like this was the first time I think we saw 4 mana for 2 Raised Deads get played regularly. Whereas that's been a card in a bunch of art, like it was in Theros, but it was just like this is too slow and not good enough, you know.
Right.
But in this set, it was fine. You could go get like 2 Blister Pods, which meant you would draw 4 more cards.
Yeah, maybe I'm taking the Blister Pod. Just
Well, you probably don't have to because
it's probably not a high pick. But
you do need to like get a bunch of things to
Yeah,
play
but-
that deck, so you want to know that you're like the one who's being passed it all. I think
That's true. Yeah, this is the Blister Pod was not the thing you took first. Maybe you
Yeah.
took the Catacomb Sifter higher
for
or
sure,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or you just like kind of ended up in both black and green, and then you took all the sacrifice pieces afterwards.
How about Outnumber?
This might be your first pick, actually.
Outnumber deals damage to target creature equals the number of creatures you control. 1 red, instant. Very good, especially in the little ally deck where you have like 6 small dudes and you go wide, especially white-red allies.
Really, 1 red mana instant, it's fine in any deck that's playing red.
And you know what? What I like about this is like, yes, you need a creature on the board, but it's good. It's good at any point in the game, really, as long as you
yeah.
got a creature down. And those decks play a lot of creatures.
Both the Allies decks and the Eldrazi decks, they would end up with a bunch of creatures. So like getting this to deal 5 to a creature is not that hard. And
No.
So 5 damage for 1 mana is like great.
Yeah,
I really like the guy's spear sling.
yeah.
Yeah, that was it's a cool looking weapon that they had, the core people have or whatever, right?
All right. Ruin Processor. 7 for a 7/8. And when you cast Ruin Processor, you may put a card an opponent owns from exile into that player's graveyard. If you do, gain 5 life.
So this is like maybe one of the worst process abilities, but also the more common formatting. Just like when you cast, you can process, right? Yeah, you played this sometimes in the big Eldrazi decks. It's a big dude.
It's a big dude. It's a big old 7/8.
Yeah.
I wasn't excited to see this, though. How about McKindy Slide Runner?
Oh yeah.
A 2/1 for 1 and a red. It's a beast. It has trample and it has landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, McKindy Slide Runner gets +1/+1 till end of turn. That's an OG Zendikar style of card.
Yep. Not as good as Plated GOP. They learned
Yeah.
they learned their lesson the first time. Putting
Boy,
putting
Plated
the
GOP was good.
it was like they gave the good. They always knew they were going to give the like good cheap landfall creatures to white and red, and they were just like, we can't make them as good this time.
No more +2/+2.
Yeah.
And first strike.
Yeah.
Was it first strike as well?
It was a 1/1 first strike for 2, and it gets +2/+2 on landfall.
Oh,
So
right.
similar to
it became a
McKindy
3/3
Slide
first
Runner, it
strike.
attacks for 3, but having first strike when you're attacking in the early game is more relevant than trample. The Slide Runner having trample was relevant in long games, though. For
That's
sure.
true.
You could get in a couple times before they have a creature that wants to trade with it, and then just like eventually know that it's gonna eat up a bigger blocker than it should, or force some damage through with a pump spell. Yeah.
How about Forerunner of Slaughter?
Oh baby, I was so excited for this card when it first got printed, and then it never really did anything.
No.
But it was fine in draft. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like a ram gang, you know, extra.
3/2 for black and red, so hard to cast, but you know rewards you if you're in those colors. And for 1 colorless target creature, target colorless creature gains haste until end of turn. Yeah, this card was always fine. It was never like
It was
amazing.
actually no, it was really exciting in the black red
That's
Eldrazi decks.
Yeah,
actually.
like
True.
in the black red aggro Eldrazi deck. This was
If you can make your so there's an important piece of that puzzle that was like X power, and then 5 toughness, and I think it also had trample.
Yes,
aggregate. It had aggregate.
Ulamog's.
Yeah, maybe
or-
something like Toslok's
yeah.
aggregate or something. Anyways,
Yeah.
but it's like if you could give that haste, they're both uncommons. But if you got both of those, and then like a bunch of little idiots or things that made 1/1 Eldrazi tokens, then you could attack for a lot very fast.
How about
Vile aggregate. I got
Vile
that.
Aggregate?
Yeah,
so
that's the
Vi-
one. Yeah.
So yeah, Vile
Yeah,
Aggregate
yeah.
really liked Forerunner of Slaughter. You know.
Yes.
I mean, if you're playing Vile Aggregate on a curve, that's fine too. But
Yeah.
if you have the spare, you know, if you're grinding out and it's like turn 4 or 5 or something, and then you can like give your Vile Aggregate haste. Like sometimes you're, you know,
You're really
5/5 trample haste. Like that's scary.
You're getting in there.
Yeah.
How about Scythe Leopard, a
There you
creature
go.
I desperately wanted to like, but was fine because it wasn't
For
an
sure.
ally.
Yeah, so this is, I mean, we just saw the fixed plated GOP, and this is moved over from white to green. This is the fixed step links, so it always has 1 power, and then it only gets +1/+1 when you attack with it. For sure, when we saw this card, we thought, like, okay, can we make like the old style landfall decks work in Constructed? It looks like this was going to be a part of the plan if you were going to play landfall. But
Yeah,
this
it
card,
didn't quite come together.
like McKinney Slide Runner, didn't get flopped on Constructed tables for very long. Yeah.
All right, how about
Great art, though. Wow.
Malakir Familiar?
Ooh.
It's a 2/1 for 2 and a black. It's a bat.
Such a
Flying,
bad.
Death Touch. Whenever you gain life, Malakir Familiar gets +1/+1 till end of turn.
Yeah, this card is great. Really,
I think
really
this card's
solid
pretty
part
good.
of the black-white life gain deck.
Because Flying Death Touch is just good.
Yeah, for sure. This card, 2 power flying death touch for 3, even without any extra abilities. Like it kind of just does everything. If they don't have any flyers, you can chip away. If they have a big creature, you need to block.
If they've
and hold
got some
it
sort
back.
of like 4/6 or something, which was not uncommon. And it's
plays
like,
offense, plays defense.
Yeah, it's a good card. And
Oh boy.
speaking of huge creatures,
Oh.
our mythic rare, an 11/9 for 9, is Void Winnower. Your opponents can't cast spells with even converted mana costs. Bracket 0 is even. Your opponents can't block with creatures with even converted mana costs. Hey, but Malakir Familiar gets in there.
That's right.
Yeah, so this is a weird card.
I mean, I think
Such a weird card.
I remember reading the design article around this when they were
Really?
talking about it and saying this is deliberately what we wanted was to make a creature that was weird.
Right.
And it
And
just
had-
didn't seem to play by the rules of the magic world.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's got this asymmetrical power toughness. It has an odd casting cost. Like there aren't many things out there with CMC 9.
Yep.
And it just has these weird abilities that you keep having to read and think about. Like it has deliberately kind of a counterintuitive design.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the official Gatherer rulings, one of
Yeah.
the rulings
Oh, yeah.
is yes, your opponent can't even. We know.
Yes,
Yeah, I remember reading that when it first came out.
I'd forgotten about that one.
So this is an important card to shove into your Judge's Tower stack, which I believe we're starting around here after that last. I think that remember Alex saying that we want to get that going. So
Yeah,
we should not sell this one
Okay.
because it's pretty fun. I mean, it's sort of annoying.
What's the pick here?
I'm still on the outnumber.
Me too.
I think I'm on the outnumber.
Outnumber?
Yeah.
I like the McKinney Familiar as well.
The Slide Runner?
No,
It's-
the Malakir Familiar.
Sorry, Malakir Familiar. I think
Yeah.
that's okay to take that if you're just really into the black-white, or even the Class 3 Healer. If you just have a read on Class 3 Healer being like the best archetype to be in right now, I could see taking that. But I think Outnumber is the most powerful card.
Yeah, I would take the Outnumber. Keeps you open. There's lots of good things you can do. Its Outnumber is good in Eldrazi decks. It's good in ally decks. It's good in basically. It's good if you're splashing for it, right? Like it doesn't require anything else other than 1 red mana and creatures, which was not really a horrible thing to do in this format.
Or any format.
Black, red, uncommon, Eldrazi. All in.
Yeah, you're all
Get
in on that.
past no red from your
your
left,
left.
but who cares?
Sure,
Because
yeah.
you passed an outnumber.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think even if you want that 3/2 haste to table, like that's way easier to do than tabling the Outnumber.
Oh, the Outnumber's gone. First 3 people are going to pick it up.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean it might be. I think you might just be on a better deck if you have some competition for black red on the left, but you have an Outnumber.
Yeah. This
I don't know.
this was one of the the best uncommons in the set actually.
They're
The three. This
The
one's a common.
Outnumbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
of the best commons for sure. I think, yeah.
objectively accurate.
Well, that's it. That was Tap Tap Concede.
We opened 4 packs.
Look at that. We have how many packs left?
70,000.
A lot.
Aw.
You can hear that. That's your ASMR for the day. Man gently ruffles packs. Morrissey mutters about bacterial cultures. I'm mopey. It's all right. Cam and I were making fun of Morrissey yesterday on stream, and apparently it's
You
carrying
got to
on.
keep it going. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the.
Not
I'm on
only
the
does he
kick.
suck real bad, but he's also mega racist now.
I know.
Aw.
So he sucks on so many axes.
Yeah.
But my favorite Morrissey story, if you'll permit me before we sign off.
Oh, please.
Is in the 1980s when the Smiths were hot shit and teenage girls loved them. He gave a morose and joyless interview to like some sort of UK teen beat kind of magazine where he said his favorite food was plain yogurt. And people were like,
Wow.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
story checks out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can. Yeah. Why would you want food that would bring you joy, right? Flavor, and because this was the 80s when yogurt was bad. It wasn't like that delicious rich Greek yogurt you get now, which is sort of is basically ice cream, a little less sweet. This is just like thin, sad milk that had been cooked.
Yeah. And this is back when Morrissey was on dairy.
Yeah. Oh. It's just sadness all around.
My stomach's turning.
Yeah. So with that, thank you guys so much. Remember, this podcast is brought to you by our friends at cardkingdom.com/LRR. Card Kingdom, a kingdom of cards. So if you go to Card Kingdom and use that referral code, they'll know that we sent you. And you can say, Lur sent me button, please. And if they have buttons in stock, they will send you a button. But more importantly, this podcast is brought to you by you at the support of our Patreon, patreon.com/LoadingReadyRun. Thank you so much for all your support. Bye.
Bye.
Muff the ending. Muff the ending real bad.